Independence or statehood? The people of Puerto Rico would like to decide. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Florida. Hey, Pedro, what's up?
Yeah, hi, Tom. I have a comment just about something you had said, an analysis you made recently that you repeated several times in the past regarding the need to add states to the country to get more representatives, in particular, I guess, Democratic representatives.
Well, and to give rights to people who are already citizens.
Right. And my concern about that is that we're looking at this situation from the point of view of the power, okay, of the country in power, of the colonizing country of these islands. And I'm just going to go that way for a split second. Puerto Rico has had a very strong independence movement that has been crushed by the powers that be on the island and the United States. Many of the leaders of the independent movement in the past have been assassinated or have been imprisoned and silenced. So that when we get these referendums that oftentimes are imposed on the island, people to vote on whether they're going to want to become a state or remain a commonwealth, it's rare the time that they also include independence. Puerto Ricans have fought for independence ever since Columbus landed on that island, and almost gained it, as you mentioned in the past, just before the Americans took over.
Do you think, I recall in the 60s there was a strong Puerto Rican independence movement. In fact, there was a so-called terrorist group that was blowing things up in the United States. Is that still intact, Pedro? My understanding is that, and maybe I'm completely wrong because I'm no expert on Puerto Rico, but my understanding is that it has become basically a fringe movement in that country, sort of like the secessionists out in California.
Or the civil rights movement here when they killed Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all the other leaders. And that's the issue that's going on now.
That was not a fringe movement.
Well, no, it wasn't a fringe movement, but the movement for independence in Puerto Rico wasn't a fringe movement either until most of these leaders were assassinated or imprisoned. Obviously,
I get that. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm asking what the status of it is right now, given all the horrors that have been visited upon them.
It's a growing movement. The universities, especially students, are more and more leaning toward independence. Again, they don't have a voice. The independence movement, because the governor is a pro-state governor, and many of the governors prior to him have been pro-state, have ignored the independence movement as small as it is now because it was forced to shrink because they were, most of the leaders were killed off or imprisoned. The so-called terrorists that shot up the Congress here in the United States, they feel themselves fighting the enemy, which was us, So they were, they took matters into their own hands, obviously, in terms of violence. Yeah. But the fact is that most people want to be free. We fought a revolution, and hundreds of thousands of people died to become independent. Cuba fought Spain to be independent. Haiti fought the French to be independent.
No, Pedro, pardon the interruption. We have half a minute here. Okay. So would it be, in your mind, better to say Puerto Rico should have the choice? It just seems like being a colony is crappy. They should have the choice of being a state or being an independent nation, right?
I think many people, given the education and the support, they would lean toward independent nation because everybody wants.
Well, let's give them a chance to